before Aiden.
Welcome to the LFG Pats Pod with your hosts, Joe and Mike. Let's go!
All right, boys. Welcome back to the LFG Pats Pod, and we're here with episode 35. We got a special guest, Aiden Holloran. He's here. He's our mega fan. Thanks for coming back, Aiden. We got Mike, as always. He's raising the roofs over here. He's shooting guns. I'm not sure what he's doing.
Whoever knows. Nobody ever knows.
No one knows. But yeah, so we got a great show. We got another W, boys. Hey, it wasn't the W we thought it would be. I thought we might score 40 points, 30-something points. I think a lot of people thought we should have done a lot more things, and we'll get into that. We got that. We got a lot of injuries to talk about. We got who knows, the playoff situation we're in right now. The Giants coming up, a much needed bye week. So it's a packed agenda today. We're also jumping on with the Foxborough fellas and Michael Rodnick. So we're jumping on that at 8:00. So we're going to try to keep it a little tighter today than Mike and I normally go. We usually go into like the hour plus. So we're going to hit
just under an hour.
Yeah. So
yeah, we'll work it out. We'll work
it out. We'll keep the schedule.
No worries.
Before we get into that, though, we got to talk about the sponsors quick. So Horizon HVAC, guys, it's getting cold. If you have not checked out your HVAC systems, get them checked. I'm telling you right now, you want that silver package at least. Call these guys up. Horizon HVAC. They service the New England area. A few listeners have already taken advantage of it. It's like $250. Call them, get the silver package. They'll come out. They'll check everything out, make sure everything's running top notch. The gold package guarantees you 2 visits. Again, everything's included. They come out, top everything off, make sure everything's good. Give them a call. Horizon HVAC. Mike Cesaroni. The guy's a beast. He's all over social media. Check him out too. Him and his wife have some really funny Instagram stuff.
They have good.
It's pretty funny.
It's funny episodes.
Yeah,
they do.
And he's utilizing AI for a lot of his AI for a lot of his ads, and it's hysterical.
Oh, hi.
Hi. He's utilizing technology. It's amazing. And so there's that, and there's Rogue Island Kitchen and Bar. As we always talk about, Aiden is like a stool in that place. If he stays one more hour, he's going to turn into a stool. They're going to start charging him rent. But
undefeated,
ever since
they're on their win streak. I mean, they haven't lost since I first went there.
Door.
Well, dude, Aiden, you stay at the do you stay at the dorms downtown in JWU?
No, I'm at the other ones. I just I take the bus and it's a 35-second walk. So
yeah,
it's
what are you on Allen's Avenue back there?
Something like that.
Allen's Ave, like in the Edgewood area. Yeah, I know it well. So yeah, you're right around the corner from that. So I'm sure you've been taking in all the sights and sounds of the different Providence cuisine options that we have, which there are many of.
Oh yeah,
all the food's so good too.
Yeah, it's a hotbed of activity.
But yeah, so Rogue Island Kitchen and Bar, guys, check it out. Honestly, we're gonna run another event. I was just at the Thursday night game with the Fanatics representative. The guy was amazing. Between him and Scotty B and all the other social media people that I met, it was just an awesome night. But I'm going to talk to him after Thanksgiving, and I might suggest having a Fanatics night where we handed out 3 Drake May jerseys, probably $250 jerseys we handed out at the game Thursday night. So Fanatics, if we can get them back on with us, maybe co-sponsor an event at Rogue Island.
It'd be nice.
We could, and hopefully for the playoffs. This is what I'm hoping.
I'd love
right?
to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll get Aiden there. We'll have a blast. So Aiden, tell me your thoughts. How are you doing? How's everything going?
All right. So I got a few I told you those from when I was first on. Josh Allen, hero ball's not working anymore. I don't think I said it on the podcast, but Mahomes and the Chiefs, I had been saying since February we're going to fall off and not make the playoffs. They're the 10 seed right now. Don't get me wrong. There's still however many weeks to play, but they're the 10 seed. Will Campbell does in fact not work at Amazon anymore. Although I saw a Bills fan on Instagram call them and try to get Deion Dawkins a job there. I wish I had saved the video. I still think Hollins is a little weird, but he's really, really good now, apparently.
A little weird.
Have you guys seen his social media feeds? He's got like 12 different social media channels.
Oh, really?
From like Max Hacks. So he does like car hacks. He does kitchen
Oh
hacks.
yeah.
Yeah, he does like all these different history. He does this history channel. He does a conspiracy theory channel. Like this
They're
guy,
fun to watch. I will give him that though.
I don't know how he has the time to do it all, man, to be
I don't
honest
either.
with you, because it keeps coming in my feed and it's a different channel from him like every week. And I'm like, geez, this guy's like
He is a New England treasure at this point.
he's an enigma.
He's
He's
an
an enigma.
Mhm.
National treasure. I don't know what he is, but I love him.
He's an enigma.
I'm all about him.
But he's been balling, so we'll take it.
Yeah.
Right. Keishawn Booty, I specifically mentioned his week 1 no catch against the Eagles from 2023. And I said if he had actually been able to make that catch, we would have thought so much highly of him. And I even specifically said if he makes that catch from now on, he will be a great receiver in the league. I don't think I was wrong.
Not at
And
all.
No, definitely not.
He learned
No.
from that mistake. Trust me, he learned that whole season from that mistake.
Mhm. And now with an MVP caliber quarterback, and Travion Henderson breakouts here, I said he was going to be Antonio Gibson extreme. I think he's better than that actually. And then I said 12-5 as my prediction on the kind of optimistic side of things. I don't see us losing 3 games for the rest of the year. We're Giants at home. We have the bye. Bills at home, at Ravens, at Jets, and Finns at home. I don't think we lose 3 games.
It's going to be tough. I think it's going to be tough. The battle of attrition is officially set in.
Yeah.
It took us 11 weeks into the season, but it's officially set in. We've gotten very, very lucky on injury front so far, and we
got bit.
Our luck officially ran out. So, I mean, as far as the game itself, we'll talk about all that. But as far as the injuries, the left side of the line, those 2 rookies that have been playing so well and have gotten so much continuity and snaps together, now that's kind of all going to be turned on its ear. And we're going to have Ben Brown at left guard and Vidarian Lowe at left tackle. We all watched Vidarian Lowe last year, and none of us that does not engender confidence in any one of us with that guy out there. Now, can we get through 4 weeks if they were to put Will Campbell on IR, which I think they're going to, just to err on the safe side? I think they're going to put Wilson and Will Campbell on the IR and bring them back 4 weeks for the season finale or even the playoffs, depending on how the schedule falls. But that's going to be our biggest challenge moving forward, is overcoming those injuries on our line.
I think you're right though, Aiden. I think 2 to 3 wins is probably where we probably sit right now, right? I don't think we lose more than 3 games, but I could see us losing 3 games, and just purely because of the injuries right now. They're stacking up in all the wrong places. We got Milton Williams that is not going to be back,
which we've sorely missed him in this game.
Oh yeah, Chase Brown ran a buck on us.
No interior run stop.
Yeah, and so we lost, and then Tonga, spent some time out. With Jelani Tavai, right? Some key players that are just pure fucking run stoppers, and so this is where, in the beginning of the year, I thought we would struggle a little bit with the run defense, and then that became a strength, and now here we are back again as Chase Brown running all over us with a pretty marginal offensive line too. So now you look at teams like, granted, the Giants aren't like a juggernaut when it comes to rushing, but
not without Scat.
Right. And so not without Scat, but then you look at their defensive front, and I'm looking at that front 7 and going, good Lord.
That's gonna be an air the ball out game. I don't think we can do much on the ground against them.
They have a pass rush, and
they have elite pass rushers.
They can exploit us if we're not careful. So I'm going to see like a lot of quick dink and dunk, screen game, three steps and out, that type of thing. I don't think he's going to have the time that we love to see him do. Take a 7-step drop and wing it back 25 yards downfield. Well, as much as he's the most effective when he's doing that, Drake is, but I don't think he's going to have the time to do that in this next upcoming game.
No,
right.
It's going to be interesting for sure.
I was talking with Joe, and I said McDaniel seems to be really good at scheming this year. I think he had some kind of meh play calls last game. I think running it up the middle was not as effective as he wanted it to be, but he just kept trying, he's usually pretty adaptable from what I remember. But this year, last game, he specifically schemed in that Demario Douglas end around. I don't know if you were watching it before, but he had that same orbit motion from Pop like probably 3 or 4 times in the first half, and he finally gave it to him, and he got 12 and got us into the red zone. So
No, it's tough. But as far as I want to focus on the Bengals game and talk about the
Yeah, we'll
Bengals
get
game.
back. We'll definitely get back to that, the Giants, because it's gonna be we got some commenters here. Hold on, I just want to get through these. Pat's game was unnecessary sweat at the end. Almost lost all my parlays. Yeah, I think it was a lot of people that saw this as a landslide victory. Definitely was sweating it out. Giants fans here. Giants fan here. We stink, but Dark versus May is going to be cinema. I agree. I think we're going to see a very good game.
I think we're to see Jameis Winston. I don't know if Dart's going to be cleared by then.
I think if Dart is cleared, though, he plays for sure.
Well, I'm not
afraid
of either one of them, but I'm also not saying that it's an easy rollover win either.
Yeah.
Especially in the state that we're in right now. Like, our bye cannot come quick enough.
Yeah.
This game, and we're allowed to call an ugly win a rough game for us just because of our record. Like, if we were 3-8 or something and we won a game like that, we'd be all cherry-colored roses and whatnot.
Yeah, but the bar is set high.
Yes,
though.
exactly.
The bar is set high.
So you have to readjust your expectations based on where we are in the league right now. We're the first team to 10 wins. So if you're a 9-2 team, you expect to win against the worst defense in the league. And when you have a showing like that, it kind of knocks you down a couple of pegs, even though we're learning how to win these tough, close games. And there is value in that. But by the same token, it was a slovenly, sloppy affair all the way around. And I defy somebody to tell me that they had complete confidence in Drake May throughout the course of that game based on the way he started. It was very uncharacteristic. It reminded me, I think I told you, of like week 1, the Raiders, when he's floating things just all over the place. Like, just he was not on his game. He's trying to aim balls. You can tell when he's trying to aim balls.
Yeah.
And every time he does that, he does not aim it the right way.
He seems to lose feel of the ball in the beginning of games. I don't know what it is where he's not gripping it correctly or just it isn't confidently releasing.
I don't know if he's too amped up or what it is.
There's something to be said about that. Granted, the Hunter Henry, the pick six was clearly miscommunication there. There was, should he have run the seam?
That was a gift. He gave Geno Stone a gift.
Of course.
Literally in his hands. That's one of the worst balls I've seen Drake May throw, honestly.
It was really, really bad.
So it just comes down to it where it's like, all right, he clearly played some of his worst football. Granted, he almost threw for 300 yards, but played some of his worst football, was able to come back and rally. Granted, we saw that for like a quarter and a half, almost really the whole first half. But this is what happens, guys. I mean, this is what it comes down to when you're playing NFL caliber teams. Guess what? We all talked about it. The reality of Drake May playing at as high of a level as he was for weeks in a row, 5-6 weeks in a row, is not realistic. It's just not. The only person I've seen do that is a guy that has Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams and Kyron Williams and Sean McVay in the same system for the past 4 or 5 years, right? And that's Matt Stafford. And you give Drake May another few years with Josh McDaniels, give him an elite or 2 extra player, someone hopefully through the draft, right? This is the key, right? This is why we haven't been doing well, is because we can't draft elite receiving talent. We just can't do it. We haven't been able to do it. And that's how you pair a Diggs with, let's say, Ladd McConkey, or let's say AJ Brown. We should have drafted him, right? If you're able to do that in the NFL and not have to pay 2 guys like T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, now you have something special that you can build off of, but you have to draft those guys, and it's very tough to do. We can't do it.
And they're also in their first year of doing this, so they're obviously putting way more stock into the guys they draft based on who's playing right now, the Craig Woodsons of the world, and based on the guys who we got rid of from the last draft, the Jalen Polks of the world. So
complete change of the guard.
Yeah, so Vrabel is obviously going to continue to grow with his guys that he feels fit the system, but that doesn't mean that we can get an impact wide receiver through the draft, because Kyle Williams so far has been a large disappointment. I think we can all agree on that. And I think it's a matter of him not getting enough reps with Drake May in practice, but he's gotten the top X reps in the past 2 weeks when Booty's been out, and he still didn't look all that great yesterday. So we're going to need to figure that whole thing out. But as far as the actual game itself, guys, as far as the red zone situation that happened, I think we're all embarrassed about what happened in the red zone. They had 8 plays in a row within the 5-yard line and couldn't punch it through. And they
I don't
didn't
know
kick
why
the
they
field.
gave it to Mondre.
That was a really
Aiden,
dumb on the shotgun.
Hold on, I want to ask Aiden, what was going through your head in that whole series? It was like 9-10 plays of pure horror. Tell me what was going through your head.
Lucky to keep the ball back on that pass interference on Booty. Actually, it was the second one that drive. And probably I get running it with Mondre on third down. I get keeping the offense on the field on fourth down. But why would you run a dive on fourth and what was it, like 1.5, when you have Travion Henderson, you have Stephon Diggs? Like, even just take the field goal, get points. And I know Borregales is not 100%, but at least try.
He scored all the points pretty much all the points that day.
He had a great game.
He did.
He had a great game. That 52-yarder was a very important thing.
Yeah.
That made sure that the Bengals had to score a touchdown instead of a field goal to end that game, and they weren't able to do it. So his 52-yarder basically iced the game for us.
I kept yelling at the TV, throw it back to Booty, because they couldn't guard him on the downfield. That he was walking in for that touchdown. If he didn't get grabbed there, he was walking in for that touchdown, that deep ball. And oh, by the way, the slant, I call it a pivot route. If they call it a sluggo, all kinds of different routes. Not a sluggo, but that
dig maybe.
Yeah, no, it's that slant that turns into an out route. I call it a pivot. That's why that was my favorite route in football, running it. But he caught him so bad that he had to pull him down. Just throw a slant now. Throw him a slant. They clearly that corner is clearly mentally.
Jax Hill, that kid got all jacked up.
He's broken. So, to me, it was like the answer was throw it to Booty or Diggs or Hunter Henry or all these other guys. Yeah, Mondre at first game back. Why? Like, Travion just got us on the field. What are we doing with this? I don't get it.
Run a toss, run a stretch. I get Tonga was hurt, but throw in Jack Westover. He's not a bad fullback. He's just a little small.
Yeah.
Again, like they keep running in between the tackles. Travion does his best work on the edges of the line, even when it's 1 or 2 yards out. He does his best work on the edges of the line. Get an off tackle going, get a pitch going, get some kind of counter move going.
I'd rather see him sneak it. I'd rather see him tush push it.
He couldn't do that either. He tried that, and that failed miserably.
I know.
So, it's like, where do you go with that? And if you can't pick up a yard in that situation, I thought Josh's play calling in that whole sequence was just But in defense of him, he's like, my team can get a yard. You know what I mean? My guys
should be able to get a yard.
Yeah, my guys should be able to punch it through to get a yard. So I don't blame him as much. But when he saw it get stuff like 3 times in a row, then maybe you pivot, because maybe we don't.
Right. Maybe you run a toss. Maybe you run a slant. Maybe you just take the 3, like I said. Like, any of those 3 probably would have gotten us points.
That 3 points would have been at 20. It would have been at 29-20, and we wouldn't have had any kind of problems at all, because we were already been up by 2 scores. So take the points. I didn't like them not taking the points in that situation, and it keeps going back to the coaching decisions, which have been superb. They've been on point.
I actually don't mind the going for it on fourth down, because you put them in a situation where they have the ball to 2. Now, granted, first play, Chase Brown runs it out for 12 yards, and they dump it off to a tight end for another 15, and they literally just walk right out of it. But at the same token, it's like, I don't mind that call. I just don't like the rushing. I don't like the Ramondre Stevenson, who's been iced out for the past 3 games trying to get healthy. That's not the answer to me. So,
well, they got no push.
Especially when you're missing 2 out of 5 of your offensive linemen. We weren't a top group anyway. Don't get me wrong. We have a decent room, but we're not up there with the Eagles or Like who I don't
No.
know who you would consider top lines right now, but I know the Eagles are one of them still.
We're not the biggest people movers when it comes to those plays.
No.
Those specific short yardage plays, we are not the team for that.
Especially
Right.
not right now. Will Campbell and Jared Wilson have been great on combo blocks down in that area. I thought they've been very impressive, but guess what? We didn't have either one of them for that whole sequence, so we couldn't get any push at all. Will Campbell is a master at getting to the second level in situations like that. Now, comboing on his first block with Wilson and then climbing to the second level to the linebacker and getting him out of the way so the running back can get through that hole. And we didn't see that with Vidarian Lowe and Ben Brown. And I like Ben Brown, but I don't like Vidarian Lowe.
No.
So
See,
I think
Lowe didn't even look that bad in my opinion.
He didn't, but he will next week. He will get
Oh yeah,
exposed
probably.
hard.
if he doesn't get a whole bunch of help, then he's going to get exposed just straight up. Like you saw, I noticed a handful of plays where he was just trying to look at the rest of his offensive linemen to try to figure out if he was lining up right. I could see he was like trying to make sure his splits are right. And I'm like, bro, you practice all week, every week. Like you've done this. You've done this. So just because you're not running with the ones doesn't mean you don't know how to line up. But the bottom line is, and Joe and I have been talking about like different iterations of how they can move the tackles around. But the way I see it right now is that Vidarian Lowe is going to be in the left tackle spot, and hopefully a week of 1 reps in practice under his belt, he's going to have a little bit of a better idea to do that. But then again, this guy's not new. He was here all of last year too. So how do you not know how to friggin' line up, bro? You know what I mean?
Honestly, it begs the question to me is, do you give Marcus Bryant a look? And I know it's going to sound crazy. He's a 7th round pick. He did start a lot of games for Mizzou, and he started across from Membo. And he did admirably at that position. The NFL is obviously totally different, but I love his size. I love his ability to move people. It's flat out what he does. He's not going to be as quick of a step as Will Campbell. He's not going to have that punch. He's not going to have all the flash that Will Campbell does and the grit. But is he better than Vidarian Lowe? I guess we'll find out. Maybe we won't. Maybe like you said, and they would just go with the familiar thing. This guy's played a lot, started a lot more games. It's a key position. We can't have people whiffing out there and Drake May getting blindsided into the dirt.
Yeah. One thing I did point out to you is that they've been playing Marcus Bryant exclusively on the right side. And in college, he was exclusively on the left side. But they don't necessarily trust him, apparently, for whatever reason, on the left side. So I floated the idea, I don't know how great of an idea it is to switch Morgan Moses to left tackle in the interim and then put Marcus Bryant on the right side. If you have that little faith in Vidarian Lowe.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
So if
that's
you have,
what you're saying at that point,
if you can't play with Vidarian Lowe, then maybe that might be an option. And Morgan Moses is not my number one option for left tackle at all.
But we know Vidarian Lowe is a huge liability.
Exactly. So I'm not saying that's gospel or anything. I'm just saying it's something they might look at, because in a couple of the past games, they've done 6 O-linemen and they've switched Moses over to the left tackle with an additional extra tackle, Ben Brown, and they did that a couple. It's only a couple snaps. Did a couple of snaps like that where they had those 2 guys on the left-hand side, which leads me to believe that they're not adverse to at least trying Morgan Moses out on that side. That's all I'm really saying. But they haven't done that with Miles Bryant, so it's just another thing to consider. But in the grand scheme of things, I see Vidarian Lowe.
That's the most likely of things.
Right? I see it
too. But I want to know, do they reach out to Jed Wills? Because I was looking at free agency. He's a free agent right now. He's not the best tackle in the league, but he's probably better than Vidarian Lowe at this point.
Who, Jedrick Wills? Is he a free agent?
He is.
Really? There's got to be a reason for that, though. If he's not on the roster, then I don't know if I want that guy.
I mean, is it good to have depth? Is a good depth signing?
We're going to need some depth. We have a couple of guys on our practice squad that they can bring up, but they don't have the name of Jedrick Wills. But Jedrick Wills obviously washed out for a reason. You know, he was a pretty high draft pick.
He's sitting out. He's sitting out majority of the year due to knee injury, apparently.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Look, I would be willing to entertain any offers to bring any help in on the offensive line at this point.
I mean, we're talking about a 7th-round pick potentially starting, or a 34-year-old
Morgan Moses.
So we're talking about, every other option because of our lack of trust in Vidarian Lowe. That's I guarantee they're having these conversations. They have to be probably immediately after the game. What are we going to do? What are you thinking?
The bottom line is this: we're going to the playoffs. Okay, I'm saying it. I don't want to hear anything different. We're 10-2. It take a month. I think we have a couple L's on the horizon personally, but we're still going to have a top seed. We're
getting 12 or 13 wins.
Yeah, we'll still probably get the AFC East. So if you can IR these guys for the next 4 weeks and bring them all back for that last week for a primer and then the playoff game, or if they get a bye, they have an extra week to recover. So at this point, I'm in like damage recovery mode, where keep these guys fresh and healthy because we're going to need them again at the end of the season here.
Yep.
So I don't mind that much, but they really need to be careful how they manage who's playing in the interim, because it could come back and bite us in the ass.
Right.
And honestly, go ahead.
I wonder if I bet they're thinking about that because we're 2.5 games above the Bills, but we're also fighting for the number 1 seed, and I think they value that, especially if Kansas City sneaks in, especially if Pittsburgh sneaks in, like some of those teams that you want to play at home in Gillette, as opposed to against whoever is that 6 or 7, or even the 5 seed.
Of course, absolutely. So, we have a lot of mixed feelings about what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. I don't think anybody really knows what's going to happen based on what just happened in this game right now. We saw a lot of red flags. I saw a lot of red flags, and it's a luxury to talk about red flags on a win.
Oh, yeah.
For a team that's 10-2. We're 10-2, for crying out loud. We're still 10-2, but there's things to clean up. There's still so much film for those guys to go over. So I feel like I'm just trying to be a pragmatist about all of this and think that we might drop a couple just on pure injury principle or fatigue. We have the last bye of anybody in week 14.
Yep.
These guys are beat the hell down, dude.
And we're lucky, right? We're fortunate that it's not season ending for any of these guys. We've gotten lucky even with the injuries. Granted, they're top injuries, right? They're top injuries to our trenches, which is massive, right? You can't understate how this has affected the rest of our regular season. But you look at the Giants, they're absolutely mauled, right? Scatterbo, Neighbors, defensive players, offensive linemen.
Dart, you don't know what he's doing.
Dart concussed. I mean, who knows?
It sounds like he's coming back, though. It sounds like he'll be back for Monday.
Agreed. Bills are also injured. Then you have the Jets. Actually, hold on. Let's talk about the Ravens. The Ravens, half the game were getting beat by the Jets. Look pretty pedestrian there, and the Jets are banged up.
The Ravens have won 5 in a row now.
Exactly. So the Ravens look very beatable at the same time. So you got all these teams that are either injured or look beatable on our schedule. That's why I say we're probably going to win 2 or 3 games out of the 5. That's my guess.
I would think so. I would handicap it just about that. I think we're going to drop. I'm not going to spoil anything. I don't want to spoil anything, but the Giants game is up in the air. I think we're going to drop 1 to at least either the Bills or the Ravens.
Or both.
I would prefer that we drop it to the Ravens and not the Bills.
Obviously,
that would be fantastic.
We go 2-0 against the Bills,
but we have to accept the fact that we're going to take another L or 2 before the season is over.
Yep.
We've been really charmed, and yes, we've had a really fantastic schedule. But you still have to beat those teams on your damn schedule. So the Browns kicked the crap out of the Raiders, for crying out loud. And the Browns suck. So it's any given Sunday. And the Raiders beat us, for crying out loud. So it's any given Sunday. I don't want to hear that argument's out the window to me. But I want to make sure that we don't get more than 2 tops 3 losses. And you know what? That's a really good barometer to have, because We might not even lose 3 more games. We very well might not.
We could win 4. Yeah, who knows?
But I wouldn't be heartbroken if we did. That's how good of a position we are in right now at 10-2. We're the first team in the league to get to 10 wins. That means something, okay? I don't care if the Broncos had their bye before us or whatever, but we're still the first team to get 10 wins in the league. It means something. The bar has been set to a different standard, so we're gonna react differently to it, you know.
Aiden, tell me what you think about this. Did you watch the Mike Vrabel locker room speech?
Not this weekend, but I kind of have an idea of what it is because he says it it's similar every week.
Oh, his speech was
I didn't hear
similar.
it. I didn't hear it.
But so if you looked around that room when Mike Vrabel was talking, you would swear that we lost the game.
Yep.
That's what I thought somebody was saying.
Every person there looked like either somebody died or we lost the game. And
I can't remember who. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, obviously, we won. And obviously, we had some injuries, right? So that probably makes it a little more solid.
Like I said, the standard changes.
But I'm telling you right now, if that doesn't make you feel good about this team, because we all went into that saying 30 plus 40, maybe 40 points, right? This team is awful. And you know that their bar was high too on this game. They wanted to come out and make a statement against this team. And they won, but they didn't make that statement. They actually made the statement the other way. And now they've fueled the whole rest of the league to say, yep, see, they got an easy schedule. These guys play down. They're not a great team. We're now lumped in with every other team that's now a pretender, quote unquote. So they got that monkey on their back still. And I can tell, like you could see it in their faces.
The numbers don't lie. We're still 10-2.
No, I know you're right. You're absolutely right. But I like that their mentality is the same way. It's like, we should have done better. Like they were actually mad. You could see it in their face. Mad.
Exactly. That's where the standard changes. These guys expect greatness for themselves, and that's what you want your players to hold their accountability to is a very high standard. They want to make the Super Bowl. Pop Douglas said he's like, we're trying to make a Super Bowl right now. So it wasn't.
They know that it's not it.
Yeah,
they know that's not.
It wasn't good enough. We need to clean it up. So yes, treat it as an L. Celebrate it as a W for a couple of hours, and then turn back around on Monday, get in the film room. Treat it as an L, as a learning experience.
A couple of things quickly. First of all, backwards order. Devin McCourty said they only count Super Bowls in New England. I don't know if I'm assuming you guys heard that. That was a while ago.
I did hear that.
I saw somebody on Twitter say today that if the Patriots had played this game last year and it had turned out the exact same way, it would have been a Gatorade bath. We wouldn't have been treating it like a loss. And there was one more thing. Oh, the schedule. I don't get that argument. First of all, almost every team who wins the Super Bowl has a relatively easy schedule. But also, we're beating who's in front of us. Week 1 was a fluke. I'll give you that win. Week 3, we had 10 combined sacks and turnovers, and we still were in it for the last minute and a half.
Yeah, we had 5 turnovers, and we still had a chance.
Off the Steelers, we beat the brakes off of them.
It was 5 turnovers. That's what did it.
To the tune of almost 400 yards, and they had like 200. So we doubled their total yardage, and we just beat ourselves essentially.
But the point is, last year we would have lost every single one of these close games. Of course. We would have lost. So that's the John Stryker and Mike Vrabel difference is what it is right there.
And nobody wants to give credit because they forget that last year we were a 4-win team and they want to say, oh, it's an easy schedule. But hold on. How about the transformation from a 4-win team to a 10-2?
We had a pretty easy schedule last year too, man. Of
course.
There was a lot of winnable games and we just couldn't get it done because our coaching staff was completely inept.
We lost to the Titans last year,
and that's bad.
And that was a bad game too, if I remember that correctly.
That's bad. There was a lot of really bad games last year, but we're on to this year.
That's right.
We're done with last year. We're on to this year, but it just paints a picture of the differences in the coaching staff and game management. Now, I take issue with game management with Mike Vrabel in this particular game, especially not taking the points when he couldn't punch it in. That's really my biggest beef with him, to take the 3 points instead of trying to punch it in. But other than that, it's been completely on point. That coaching staff knows what the heck they're doing. So that alone counts for at least a couple W's. at any given season. So I'm pretty confident about that. But the battle of attrition might be our undoing. It might not.
We'll see. We shall see. But I do want to call out a few good things. There were a few signature Drake May throws that Pop Douglas.
The Pop Douglas throw.
Pop Douglas throw was absolutely cinematic.
Money.
I mean, I want to make a clip of that with some Bonicelli or something, some like classical music in the background, like that, going slow motion. Like I want to make a clip of that.
Let's get some Beethoven
something
going.
just like beautiful, like the ball's just spiraling beautifully. There's that one. There was another level throw, tiered throw on the right sideline. I want to say it was Mac Hollins.
Yeah, yep.
That was just beautiful, picturesque throw. So he does these things every single game. And he actually almost fumbled the ball, which was, I was talking positive for a minute. He did fumble the ball, recovered it instantly.
Yeah.
But we did see a little bit of a de-evolution of Drake May back to
regression.
Regression can be positive and negative. I want to say going backwards, so de-evolution.
If you'll give me 2 seconds, that Keyshawn Booty throw where they got the PI that set up the 8-play red zone drive.
Yep.
That was a beautiful throw too. Because like you said, if he wasn't grabbed, that was a touchdown.
Yep. That would have been the extended arm booty touchdown that he gets. He's gotten
the same one that he's had 4 times in the past 6 weeks.
Exactly. So I mean that's there and he knows it. And he booty comes back and that's what he does. He throws it to him and now they know. They're like, if we're beat, we have to hold him because he's going to catch it.
Right.
So, and it worked out for them because we scored 0 points when they did that.
A W is a W. 10-2 is 10-2.
100%.
10-2, guys. 10-2.
You can't say
9 in a row is hard to do no matter who you play.
Exactly.
And I did like Trevion too. Trevion had some game. He had some juice. Granted. We didn't use him, as much appropriately, or as he did. I think he got like 20 touches. I think he got like maybe 16 or 17 totes with.
But again, they were running him under center and in between tackles.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I like that when they get him out to the corners, man.
This is why I wanted them to trade for somebody like a Chuba Hubbard or somebody like a backup that's like can play that grinder role.
Well, you know what bothers me is when they get Terrell Jennings down on the goal line.
My Lord.
They think he's going to push it in. Now, I don't have anything necessarily against him, but the 2 guys ahead of him would have had more of a shot of getting that in there than him.
Right. It's a waste.
So I wasn't a big fan of that. I like Terrell Jennings, but you got to keep your horses in. And Ramondre is still not 100%. I don't care what anybody says.
Right. I don't know why they played him.
Yeah.
It just seemed like he was kind of wasted, right? He seemed like he either came back too early or they didn't use him.
I feel like he has a turf toe injury, and that's a serious plantar fasciitis.
Yeah.
That's a serious injury. Like, you need weeks and weeks. I would prefer that they keep him out for the Giants and then let him heal on the bye week.
The bye week. Yeah, what are you doing?
That's what I would prefer they do.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows what they're going to do?
So let's talk about the Giants, guys, because I think, we're at 38 minutes here.
We got
Foxborough Fells coming up.
We're getting tight.
I think when it comes down to it, the biggest thing that I see as a problem with this team comes down to Brian Burns, Thibodeau, and
Abdul
Carter, right? And
isn't one of them hurt
either?
I hadn't seen that.
About that. I didn't see that. I know Brian Burns played his ass off last game, but their linebackers are no slouches either.
Yeah.
I mean, their front 7 is legit.
Borderline. Okereke is nasty.
Exactly. They got some ballers in their front 7. So I am definitely concerned about running the football, one. And I'm concerned about Drake May because we're one of the most sacked teams in the league. So to me, that is the biggest matchup come next week that we better have some answers. We better have some tricky plays coming out of the backfield to get the ball out of his hands quickly. I haven't seen a lot of screens. I don't understand why we don't run the screen game at all.
Right. Every time I see them try to run it, it gets blown up. They're not executing it well.
Yeah.
They haven't been executing it as well. And Drake May, this has to be a redemption game for him because
sure.
I think he lost a lot of face in this last game. I just got to be honest with
He
you.
definitely look at what Stafford did and look what he did. And I mean, and I actually made a post about it, an AI picture I made with basically saying like, oh, I could totally see that this whole MVP thing getting flipped on its head. And what did it do? It actually went the opposite way.
It did, yeah.
So
now Stafford's like negative 215 and Drake's like plus 220. So
which is still not horrible.
Not at all.
He's going in the wrong direction, and now we have a tougher matchup this week, like a much tougher matchup. I don't know who the Rams play next week, but yeah, it's not looking good because now we have less time to throw it, right? That's just flat out the net of it.
Drake can't win an MVP unless he throws for 300 yards in a game, okay?
Oh, well,
I'm just saying, I'm saying that on pure principle alone.
Of course.
He has to have a 300-yard game under his belt at some point or another.
But does he still lead the league in yards?
If not, he's second. But yeah, I do actually too, and I'm pretty sure he leads in. I still leads in completion percentage as well. Yeah. So yeah, he's still.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you.
Just a side note: Kayvon Thibodeau has not practiced since at least Wednesday.
Okay, all right.
And he was out. He's been DNP all week, and they haven't said anything about Monday because obviously they don't put it out until like Thursday, but. He was DNP all last week and was out on Sunday.
That would be a big deal.
I didn't realize he wasn't out there. Beautiful.
Okay. That would help a lot. But the other two guys are still beasts. So
and guys, Jackson Dart, I don't know who's more of a problem right now because Jameis Winston looked very good coming off the bench. Jameis Winston was hawking the ball downfield. He caught a touchdown and broke a tackle from
Gunner,
our boy Gunner
Olszewski,
oh my Lord.
Our old buddy.
What a play that was! And
Jameis Winston always has one game a year where he just balls out.
Yeah,
it's true. But Jackson Dart is a different challenge, right? We don't get to the quarterback, right? Look how much we made Justin Fields look like, and this isn't Justin Fields, by the way. This is a starting caliber. Like potential all-pro quarterback at some point, probably not this year because let's face it, the weapons he has is kind of a joke. But Jackson Dart can get after it, and I am definitely worried about that. If he plays, I'm still worried about if Jameis Winston plays.
I'm not worried about Jackson Dart. The first time he gets tackled hard, he's going to fall wrong. And he's going to get.
Well, he's
hurt.
already concussed, so that's not good for us. Not good resume.
He's going to fall. He's going to fall wrong and get concussed again.
But I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a close game. It's not, my prediction is not going to be pretty. I'll tell you that much.
Do you want to do that? We got to wrap it up.
We do have to wrap it up. So, Aiden, give me your thoughts on this game. Give us what you think is going to happen in this game, and give us your prediction.
I said it earlier. Throw the ball all game. Just keep May up. They don't have a great offense. I mean, don't get me wrong. Tyrone Tracy's decent. Jackson Dart's decent. But besides that, that's their offense. It comes down to how do we do on offense. I'm thinking. I agree with you. Close game. Probably going to be something like 17-14, or it's going to be really high scoring, and it's going to be like 38-35. So.
Which one is it?
Pick one.
I'm gonna stay on the other end and say the 17-14 roughly.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of with him. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I continue to think that in order to beat that pass rush, we're going to have to run the football. I think if you get your backup offensive lineman running downfield and hitting people first instead of having to wait back and get exposed, I think they're going to have to do a run-heavy offense, which based on this last week doesn't fill me with confidence, but that doesn't mean anything because it's a week-to-week type of situation. So I want us to run the ball a lot, try to expose them and neutralize the defensive ends. I see a very tight, ugly game. I was tempted because it might be a trap game. I was tempted to go with the Giants, but I have to go with the Pats 19-17 in this one. And Borregales is going to have yet a bunch of field goals because we can't close out in the red zone. But that's how I see it going down. 19-17 Pats.
It's funny you say 19-17 because I was going to go 2017.
There you go.
But I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go the Giants.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be in it. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I think it's going to be a very defensive game, a fair amount of punts. And I just think they're going to have more plays than us at the end of the game. I think that's all there is to it. I think we're going to see Drake May make some great plays, but he's going to struggle, guys. I think we're looking at Vidarian Lowe, who is an absolute turnstile. And then you're going to have Ben Brown, and they're going to look at the tape from last year on these guys, and they're going to go, oh, okay, this is what we're facing. Cool. And they're going to tee off, and we're going to have 2 to 3 seconds to get rid of the ball. And if we don't do that, we're going down. Drake May's going down. So it sucks to say. I hate to say it, but they caught us at a great time with some key injuries. I don't know. I would say they're not going to run on us either, but Tyrone Tracy, I'm not sure who, Singletary are playing pretty good football, and Chase Brown just tore us up. So
that's a big statement from Joe. Joe doesn't usually make statements like that.
Yeah,
so.
And I hope I'm wrong, but I do not see this going well. I do see it being an upset at home. I'm not sure what if they opened up the point spread or anything right now, but I am not excited about it. I hope that I'm wrong, though. I do hope that I'm wrong, and I do hope they have I agree with you, Aiden. I think our offensive players are better than theirs, just flat out. They have no Neighbors, they have no Scatterbo. We have Booty back. We got a lot of weapons that I think can do some damage. But if we can't get them the ball because we can't, have time to throw the ball, then that's where my prediction comes in.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles, my friends.
It's going to be it's going to be a lot of backs and tight ends blocking, I think.
You're going to see a lot of chip work. That's why I think you're going to see a lot of Ramondre Stevenson because he's great at the chip work.
Probably a lot of Matt Collins too, because you'll see him on the field in those big tight end sets, big extra big body sets, and you could see a lot of Matt Collins getting free.
Mac's a useful player.
He is.
He's a useful player.
You know what? I eat that L. I was like, what is the signing? I get it. High character guy. We were all ragging on him.
He blocks like an MFer, dude.
He blocks. And he gets yak, and he catches deep ball. He does everything. He literally does everything. He's the everything guy. He's the glue on the offense.
And we have Diggs and Hollins, and the Bills have no receivers. Wah, wah, wah,
I love it. All right, well, Aiden, thank you so much for coming on, buddy.
You.
We love your fan support. We love Bissett. Ryan always talks about you. The owner of Rogue Island always says, "Oh, Aiden's in here again." I love it. So I know you chuck it up with him too.
Yep. All right,
awesome.
I'll be back. Have fun in Foxborough, fellas.
Tune in. Let's see how we can screw that one up. It'll be great.
As long as no one gets injured while we're on, that's all I care about.
We should be all right.
All right, guys. As always, let's fucking go.
Let's go Pats.
Go
Pats, baby.